All right, JT here with you. I made it. Making sure that I'm actually live on this thing because I don't know if I am or not. It's been kind of chaotic here in the studio. Ended up all right, there we go. Indications of life. Right on. If you guys are out there, give me a shout out. Let me know you're watching. Uh I'm still in California and I will be here through the end of the year until first week of January, and then back on up to the Pacific Northwest, back home, and tucked in and set up until I leave again in March or February, wherever I end up first. February, Arizona, March, Mats, and there's another opportunity in there in March as well that might be coming into play. April and then May, first weekend for May, and back in California for Trucking for Kids. Anyway, but right now I'm in Camp Motown. We'll just leave it at that. And had some challenges here with the power source that I'm plugged into is it's got some issues. So it looks like I got a project ahead of me now to figure out what it is that I'm plugging into and why there is no ground in an entire house. So anyway, we'll figure all that out. So how the hell are you? I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving and was able to hang out with the family, whoever you were, wherever you were at, and who you were with. Hope you had a good time and enjoyed a chance to get back together with the people you care the most about and care the most about you. And that's always important, to be in those like-minded places. You know, we're missing one thing here. We'll get that turned on too, and hopefully, wait a minute, maybe, all these little details, and there it is. We'll go with the blue today. Anyway, yeah. So still dealing with kind of the fallout here. So what, all of a sudden, everything's great all day long here in Studio 10 Forum mobile. And then it went crazy on me. Just literally 2 minutes before the show, all power went. Anyway, so long story short, after trying to figure out what the shore power was doing or not doing, I just went ahead and flipped it over onto the generator, and we're running a generator now, which is convenient to have that. I just don't like doing it if I don't have to, but I have to today to be able to do a show for you guys. So Thanksgiving was nice. I was, again, like I said, here in California, and talked to lots of friends, lots of family, people reaching out every year on text. There's always that kind of fun stuff going on, and letting everybody know they're still around, still breathing, and enjoying the holidays with their friends and family wherever they're at, and keeping it real, as they say. We got a new magazine out. It is December, so welcome to it. Last month of 2025, first week of December 2025. And we are here with you to let y'all know that the new magazine's out. If you have a subscription, you should be getting it anytime. If you are looking for it in the racks, the same thing. They should be out there and in racks, starting to show up and be available. Great cover this month, man. I can't wait to interview this guy and share this truck with you. I'm just going to give you a quick preview of what you got to look forward to, because I think it's just an awesome shot, and it's cool not only when of course we have Dan the man out there shooting these covers, but our guest photographers, man. And this guy Colin Kunn, I'm gonna get Colin on here cover show, and hopefully get the cover owner as well. But it's just a beautiful 900 there. Man, what a great looking truck. That A model is just fantastic. Beautiful truck. It can happen when truck leaves California and gets transformed like this one did. I haven't read the whole story yet. I read parts of it so far, and I'm going to get the whole thing under my belt so I know what's going on. But you guys can check it out, 104magazine.com. And what's cool about that is you can go there and get yourself a digital viewing of the magazine. And let's see, I thought that was on every page. No, there it is. So subscribe today. That's an important one. And believe me, you guys want to do that. Those are great stocking stuffers. You just put a card in there to your favorite trucker or your honey and let them know that you care about them by getting them 12 months of 10-4 magazine. Will be delivered to them every month perfectly, and it will be a perfect copy of the magazine. I love this digital copy thing though too. This is cool. If you don't mind flipping the pages digitally and checking replica, uh, facsimile. There's a word you don't hear any much anymore of 10-4 magazine and what's going on inside of it and who everybody is. So check out 10-4magazine.com, and there you go. Labor of love, Colin Kund. Right on. Plenty of great photos of that truck, and there are so many. One of them's a great shot. Man, what an awesome truck. Awesome color. Another fall edition of 10-4 magazine. All the stories that are available online too. There's some show reports in there for you. We have the show report from the Stars, Stripes, and White Lines. Kim Jakes was out there to give us that report. And then also Eric Hill from GBATS got a little story in there and a show report, as well as I think there was another one in there. Some tributes, remembering Harm. So Harm Spearstra, after passing, of course, 10-4 covers all the truckers like nobody else does. We've got a story about Harm in there, and that was brought to us by Daniel Lins. So Dan the man putting this one together for everybody, being able to tell some of Harm's story and who he was and what he was to everybody, including 10-4, a longtime relationship with 10-4 magazine and a lot of you as well out there trucking for kids. I mean, he was a big part of all of those. So I'm looking at and rolling through it as I'm talking to y'all. I don't know what you guys do in this time of the year, but I remember when I was trucking and had guys working for me, my priorities were to make sure that they were working. And whatever happened in the way of work that came in, we had a pretty good winter thing that we did. I would make sure all my guys were out first, and then whatever after that was hanging on there, I'd take and run, do whatever needed to be done. Sometimes the time we were all out and running year round. So California, that's kind of a rare deal for the kind of work that we do, which is vocational work, dump trucks, transfers, end dumps, all that kind of stuff. I made sure that my guys were out there running around and doing what they needed to do to take care of their families and pay their bills. And as well, same thing for me. I had to do that too. But when you're making a little bit of money on the trucks that you have out there running, whether they're pulling for you or you're just pulling a string and handing out loads to guys to take care of for you, either way, you're making a little bit of money. But this time of year, sometimes I was fortunate enough to where I could shut down and hang out with my family. So Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and then once the season would pick back up, I'd be back out there. My guys, my regular guys would be out there running full time all year long. But I didn't mind that. I enjoy spending time with my family, and I was very fortunate to be able to do that. Not a lot of us get that opportunity, especially you guys that are over the road guys. You're running year round typically, doing what you're doing and whatever you're hauling, especially if it's freight, refrigerated, dry goods, all the usual stuff that's out there that everybody needs to get by. That's something that year round are hauling loads. Now, the guys that are the dirt haulers, we'll call them, that asphalt, rock, sand, gravel, all that kind of stuff. cement, so you're including all the pneumatics, the bottom dumps, end dumps, 10 wheelers, transfers, that stuff. A lot of that's down. It's seasonal. So, you don't always get the year-round thing. By the way, howdy to everybody. April, Tim, Lance, what's going on over there? I know there's more in the show that haven't jumped in and said howdy, but appreciate you guys for tuning in. It's December, man. Things slow down a little bit this time of year. No truck shows, so we have other things we're going to start focusing on and ensure that we bring to you guys weekly and talk about. I think I wore everybody out last week when we had our full impact of our Thanksgiving show, and that was a lot of fun. Great time. All the folks that jumped in to be a part of that. It was definitely a good one. We'll have another special couple of shows coming up, and I'm not sure if we'll do Christmas and a year-end wrap. We'll probably do one where it'll just be our Christmas year-end wrap show and kind of go over things. We'll have a few of us that are close in the 10-4 world, Team 10-4 especially, that'll be a part of that, and we can kind of sit around and talk about kind of what went on in 2025 and what we're looking to do and accomplish in 2026. But back to trucking, man. When winter rolls in, different parts of the country, different parts of the industry have different things going on. And some of you guys are out there, you're running like it's just another day. Some of us literally are parked and all we're doing is collecting, rain and fog, cold weather in the backs of our trucks. And that's it, and we're looking forward to, things the first of the year and start to change and start building things up again. But it goes to say that you got to make hay every day you're out there, and leading up to this winter shutdown for some of us, it's definitely something that you got to look ahead to and make sure you're not parked, and if you are, that you're covered. You made enough money through the good times, the good months, that you can sit back on it, through the winter and be okay. Be healthy, as I like to call it, say, you got a good amount of money in the bank and everything's taken care of, and you can be healthy through the slow time until it picks back up. Dougie, what's going on? Burrito Dougie, Taco Tuesday Dougie, Barbecue Dougie, and then some. But good to have you on the show, Dougie. Good to see you, buddy. My time off, back in the day, didn't have as many outlets. So my thing was eBay, believe it or not. I'd get on eBay, and I'm kind of what they call an audiophile. And I like the old electronics, the old Pioneers, the old Marantzas, the old Kenwood stereos. You guys remember all those? Some of you probably do. But there was a time on eBay, you could just pick that stuff up for next to nothing, man. Picked up some of the most badass stereos from back in the day, a solid wood cabinet, Pioneer SX, 980s, 1080s, these big high-end stereos that used to be it. And I don't remember, I don't know if you remember or not, or if you were a part of it or not, but when we were kids, growing up where I grew up, that was Monterey, California, Monterey Bay, Carmel Valley proper, where I grew up actually, but the Monterey Peninsula. We used to go to the stereo shops in town, man, and they have the sound rooms where you could go in and test drive a stereo, pair it up with whatever set of speakers you want, whatever stereo you want, equalizer, all that stuff, right? And go in there and just try to blow it up, man. I mean, no kidding. That was kind of what it was. Could we blow it up? John, good to have you on the show. John Fearborn, good to have you on the show, buddy. We would do that. And for me to be able to go through and like a Rolodex, eBay, and look at all these stereos, these vintage stereos that were for sale, speakers too, man. I don't know if y'all remember Cerwin Vega, Harman Kardon, KLH, on and on and on, man. I could go on for days about all this kind of stuff. It was a kid in a candy store. So I pulled it came and went over the years. I I collected a lot of different stuff. So I've got some cool old vintage, Pioneer electronics that Pioneer was my favorite. But and I do have some old Marantz too. Marantz, Quadraphonic, man. That was that was the thing. Harman Kardon. God, you guys remember that? Uh there was just some names out there back in those days that, got drowned out once the digital age, the solid state age came in and took over, just like they did with trucks. Think about it, man. Remember all the gauges that used to be in our trucks? Look at them now. Criminy, the new Pete's, man. They look, they're a screen. The dashboard's a screen. There's nothing there. There's no toggles. There's nothing to play with. It's all touch screen. And hey, Kevin, what's going on, man? Good to be on the show. And if you're driving and you're disabled, congratulations on that, man. That's you figured out a way to make it happen, and I hope it's manageable. Happy holidays to you, buddy. It's not like it used to be, man. I mean, and there's a lot of businesses because of that are probably suffering. The guys that used to make all the toggle extensions and all the switch covers. I mean, Rockwood. I mean, think about it, Carl Karsten. I mean, there's a lot of business he's probably lost due to that fact. Now it's kind of become a vintage business because those are the dashes and things that he's marketing and selling to. That was normal everyday deal, man. You get your toggle extensions, whatever, you liked, if it was the Rockwood style or whatever ones, the glitter cast, I call them, with the, resin glitter toggle extensions, or, the gem end glitter extensions, or, billet aluminum glitter end. I mean, man, just there are all these different kinds of that stuff out there, but things have changed everywhere. And electronics especially, I mean, whole industries have been formed and lost due to the digital age and the advancement of electronics. What was is not what is. It's all changed and become something else. So anyway, during that off season, I'd get involved in eBay and be out there having fun and Tulare, yes, buddy. Hey, Steve, how's it going, man? Waving back at you, buddy. Good to have you on the show. I would find different hobby kind of things like that to get involved in and be a part of, man. And I'll tell you, back in those days, I'm going back, the late 90s, early 2000s, we were still going to Blockbuster and renting movies, right? And the kids and I would sit around and have stacks of movies that we'd go rent, and it would be an all movie-thon, not every day, but during weekends or whatever, and when the kids felt like it, and we'd hang out and watch lots of movies. Nowadays, criminy, that's not even in existence anymore. Everything is streamed. Everything is subscribe to whatever flavor you like and get what you want. Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, Netflix, HBO TV, and incidentally, those are all subscriptions I have right now, and they're each a little bit different. Right now I'm watching Homeland on Netflix, and it's thing as hell. If you haven't seen that one, get ready for 8 seasons of sit back and watch a series that you're not going to let go of it until you get through it. And I'm halfway there right now. But the other thing I like, HBO. So there's a lot of mergers going on too now, man. And this goes to that time off. What are you doing to fill your time? Okay. A lot of people are going, well, I'm not sitting around watching TV. Maybe you're taking trips, going to see family, exploring. I'm doing both because I am on the road right now. I mean, been on the road since, first week of November. So for me, I'm doing it all right now. And I'm taking in all the flicks and and the series and shows and binge watching stuff, but I'm also on the road working too, doing what I got to do. And some of these premium deals are merging now, and already some of them have merged. HBO has a lot of the cable channel programming available on it now. So I don't know if you guys remember, and I know Rob. I don't know what happened there. Hopefully we're good, everybody. Gene, what's going on? Hi, Gene. Uh, all of a sudden my screen just went kind of weird. I hope you guys are still there with me and everything's okay on your end, but it says I'm live, so I hope I'm live. Okay, so anyway, somebody give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you guys are still out there hearing and seeing, or one or the other, or neither, and nothing back from you. I know you're not, but somebody give me a thumbs up. Let me know. Randy, what's going on, buddy? So I got stuff coming in. That must be on, buddy. Good to have you. You know, it's like stumbling over a speed bump and you trip on it and fall on your face or some digitally. But anyway, so all these channels have merged together, and this one gal, you know, Balin, the Tourette's girl, you know, we watched that show now, and all these other ones on HBO. Hi, Gene. Good. I'm glad you're still there. It's cutting out again. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. Power's good. So we got power, we got internet, we got all these things that we have to keep going to make this work. So hopefully it'll all, you know, align and still happen for everybody. Anyway, one of my favorite deals is the reality shows that are out there. And I don't know if you guys are into it, but you know, the Gold Rush, I watched that. The logging guys, I watched them. There, and then there's a lot of shows that are streamed that are only on YouTube that you have to go over and watch on YouTube, you know. But I'll watch a lot of these other shows, and I like watching the trade guys, you know, the guys that are out there doing the real life stuff and making things happen. And this is what they do. Gold Rush is a lot of fun. I like that show. I don't know if you guys watch that or not, but Gold Rush, I mean, King of the Klondike, you know, what's his name? Basically, you know, him and Parker Schnabel and a couple of the other guys that were around at the beginning of this series. Tony Beats is who I'm trying to think of. Tony Beats. I just watched. In fact, I had something saved up for us to watch, but the power died, so I lost that. That reel. It's on Facebook, and it's a Discovery Channel feature reel of Tony Beats directing traffic, let's call it. So he's got all these equipment operators and equipment on site, and they're trying to put the belt or the buckets back on the dredger that he runs, one of them, and he's multiple dredgers, which he hasn't been running lately. But this is one where he's got to put the buckets back on the dredger, on the wheel. And this guy is on the radio directing traffic to, you know, 4 guys, 5 guys, however many it was, on different equipment, and making them remotely do each one of their part to lift this, you know, this buckets that dig and dredge out the rock back onto the wheel, onto its track. You know, what I like about it is this guy's sharp. Tony Beats is no joke. This guy's for real. If you guys have never seen this guy in action, you know, he comes off as a real a-hole. And he probably is by most people's accounts. But bottom line is, this guy knows his business, man. And you know what? He knows how to coordinate. He knows how to delegate. He knows how to put people in places to succeed. Everything of leadership that's a quality that we all want to have, so we can be successful leaders in whatever business that we do and whatever we're doing in the world. This guy exhibits it. Now, I'm not on board with his style. That's for sure. I'm not, because he comes off as a DH man. He does, but he knows his business and he knows his stuff. And to watch him do the things, especially when he's coordinating everybody on a radio and it's a multitask operation that takes multiple people operating multiple pieces of equipment to make one goal happen, one thing happen, all at the same time. Guy's an expert. He's a journeyman at what he does at his trade. Can't fault him for that. You just can't. Brandon, what's going on, buddy? Good to have Brandon on board. Everybody say hi to Brandon. He's our best friend. We know that. We love you, Brandon. Good to have you on, buddy. Out there besides Gold Rush that are a lot of fun, and there's branch offs of Gold Rush too. And I mean, there's probably, I bet you there's a lot of guys that have watched these shows and figured out enough to say, I want to do that. And they've gone that direction somewhere, somehow, and they're in that business now. And they're doing that. There's a roadmap out there now for people to, take a chance, man. We used to have guys, and I kid you not, I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm going to go back into to my days out on the road and trucking and doing the deal. We used to have guys that would show up inevitably every single year at the beginning of the season. And the season for us, for the local, transfer dump truck and dump guy, jobber that was out there that was doing the independent, that was doing what we were doing, that season would be or could be March, April, May, June. It just depends, man. It seemed like it kept getting shorter and shorter and shorter of a season, and we would go longer and longer and later into the year before the season would start. That being said, whenever that would start, there would be these new guys that would show up, and I felt I'm going to say I felt sorry for these guys. They would throw they would come out of another industry, another career somewhere, cash in their retirement and buy a truck. And back then, you could buy a transfer for 50 grand, truck, trailers, everything, 50 grand. Okay. Well, that was a lot of money. Still is. No joke, right? It's 50 grand. And these guys would show up and they're ready to go to work. Well, they want to go to work. I don't know if they're ready to go to work, but they would want to go to work. And the brokers, would lure them in, and then those guys would get, the choice loads and make their day and make it like everything's groovy and it's all gravy. And why didn't they do this sooner? Well, it was not that way. The reality kicks in when you're up here like this and everything's groovy, and then it goes like that and it's not so much, and then it comes back up a little bit, then it goes back down, maybe it goes back down real deep, and then it goes back up. You guys know you have to have, there's a magic number we all tried to hit every single month, and that magic number was the break even, make money point. Okay, got to make this much money before I can start making money, because I got to pay everybody off. I got insurance, I got fuel, I got maintenance, I got repairs, I got whatever, you name it, whatever your hard costs are, and you got to pay them. You got all those before you got to cover all that before you start making any money. And these guys would show up, man, they got a hard dose of reality before they, some of them ever even got to the point where they made it. And most of them didn't. I mean, quite honestly, I don't know that any of those guys, except maybe ones I could count on one hand from all those years ago, are still around. And including myself, I'm not. I got out and I went a different direction. It was a choice. I didn't have to. I just decided I wanted to do something else. I was in a good spot, man. I could have stayed and kept going, but anyway, a lot of different things, a lot of reasons why, and I moved on. But it was something, and you guys see this all the time, probably out there too. You probably have in your world, you all show up to wherever it is you get a load from or loads, and there's the new guys that you see, and do you reach out and give them a hand in, or are you kind of like standoffish, and do you kind of not push back, but just, you stand back a little bit and see if they're even going to make it, right? Um, the NFG, I mean, right? That's the NFG. And, you kind of go, well, I don't know if I want to get to know this guy or not. I was pretty open, man. I was okay to lend a hand out, and try to just be friendly at the very least, and say howdy to these guys and wish them the best. Some of them were not so friendly back. They were very competitive and figured, that we're probably their enemy because we're all fighting for the same thing. Well, wrong attitude, number one, to have. You need to think that over, because that's not the attitude to have. The pie is big enough for everybody. You just got to grab a piece of it and do it right so that you can help each other along and stay in business for the next year after that, and the year after that, and the year after that. But some guys didn't get that, and they ended up on the outside looking in because they just came in the wrong way. But it was interesting to see all that happen, and then there was other parts of the industry that came in and you know I don't know how to say it. There was other parts that came on. I just still here. Holy crap! I've never had this happen before, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's internet or power or the combination of both of them. So hopefully I'm still here. Anyway, other parts of the industry came in and didn't help it, man. They didn't do good things. They did not help the industry. And then when things got really bad and the rates were so bad that nobody could make any money, those were the first guys to cry foul that, you know, that everybody's getting screwed. Well, everybody's getting screwed because these people came in and tore the industry down. You guys, you got to protect the rates, man. And here we are in winter, and you're either working or you're not. And if you're working, man, winter was probably more of a solid time than the rest of the time, because if you had winter work in my world, you had set that up previous to the big part of the year where you were making all your money. And it's not available for everybody to come in and tear it up, ruin the rate, and screw everything up. Was there, we all did our part, and we didn't talk about it. We didn't let anybody know where we were going, what we were doing. We did what we did to make our money and keep ourselves going, and that's what you had to do. And I wonder, I'm imagining, but I wonder, is it the same for you guys that are hauling just regular general freight? You guys, does it matter? I mean, the ones you guys have a prime haul, I'm sure it is. You're not letting that out. But the guys that are, on the job boards and the broker boards and all that's just like, go there, throw a dart, see what sticks, right? If you hit one and get it, then you got a load. I mean, that's kind of how it is. But um, it's a different world when you plan your year out knowing that you've got a few months of just, more work than you can handle. And then you got whatever's left after that, and you got to fill those voids. So a little bit of difference. So anyway, back to where I was, in the off time where it does slow down, and some of us, take a step back, and we're letting our drivers run, or we just step back, period, whether we got drivers or not. And we're hanging with our family, and we're doing what we're doing. What are you guys doing when you're in that time now? Like I said, for me, nowadays I'm working, but I'm on the road. I'm not driving a truck, but I'm out here doing what I'm doing. Jamie, good to have you on the show, buddy. I hope your holidays were good. Robbie too. I wish you the best. And Brandon, hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, all of you. I enjoy the series that are out there that are the real life, series that are available through some of these, you got to pay as you go, subscription channels, and some of them, by the way, are pretty much giving away the 12-month subscription starting at like $3, $2.99 per month. Now that's the commercial version, so you're going to get commercials, but uh, if you can stand the commercials and you're willing to just throw $3 at, you've got it. And a lot of these channels like HBO, Disney, uh, they're all packaged and bundled, and so there's different things going on with now. They have a lot of the sports. I don't know how many of you, but I know a lot of you are sports guys. So you got NHRA, NASCAR, NFL, NBA, and Major League Baseball, NHL. I mean, there's so many of these networks now that have all taken on, and Netflix too, man. Netflix is putting itself in position to be the next big sports network. They're doing things. Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus just got MMA, UFC. And here's the cool thing about it is you don't have to pay extra for any of the premium UFC fights anymore. They're all going to be part of your regular subscription on Paramount Plus. So any of the numbered UFC bouts, I think we're at like UFC 300, whatever it is now, and I don't recall which one it is, but starting January, all that's going to be available on Paramount Plus. ESPN no longer. ESPN will still have WWE and other events like that because the same company that owns WWE owns UFC. Yeah, if you didn't know that, yeah, the entertainment company that owns UFC owns that, not Dana White. Dana White works for that company now because he sold it years ago. But I can't remember, Diamond Sports or something like that. I can't remember the name of the sports entertainment conglomerate that owns all of that, but they own a bunch. And they've just made, one of the biggest blockbuster deals ever with Paramount Plus to feature the UFC on Paramount Plus. And ESPN, trust me, it's not going anywhere. They're sticking around, and they're making things happen too. And YouTube TV. Hey, Jamie, yeah, you know what? I feel you, man. I'm driving a desk. I'm sitting at one right now, but I got a microphone for a steering wheel and mouse and keyboard too. So it's how I get around. But I get you, man. Driving is I miss driving. I do. And when I'm out pulling this rig, it's a 45 foot Cyclone, and I pull it with an 06 Dodge dually. It's work. And I've heard some of the new trucks that are like, there's nothing behind you and it feels like nothing, no big deal. I got plenty of power, man. I got to be able to keep the engine cool, and that's not a problem. The transmission is the one I got to worry about keeping cool. I need to get a bigger tranny cooler on there, and I need to have one with an electric fan on it, because when you get in traffic, it can't keep it cool. I need to get one of those. I forget where they are. There's a Japanese manufacturer out there that makes a transmission cooler for these trucks that dual electric fans on it, and they kick in when it starts getting up to a couple hundred degrees and cools everything down. But anyway, yeah, man, I miss driving. But when I'll tell you, getting around in this rig, it's like driving a truck. But Jamie, do you miss it? I mean, I know you used to drive, and those days are probably way behind you. But do you miss it? That's the thing. Oh, you got a coach now? Yeah, coaches are cool, man. Coach is no joke. That's a great way to get around. I mean, you have some of the most modern technology at your hands in the cockpit of these coaches. Now, I don't know what you've got, but you know, there's some amazing rides out there. There really are. And depending on what you decide to get, you could get yourself a Class 8 chassis and mount the RV body on it and have your, a Class 8 truck, whatever you want, whatever kind, whatever year, whatever model, and feel like you're driving truck, right? I mean, look at Rod down in Arizona, man. Rod Pickett and that beautiful truck that he's got that was on the cover of 10-4 magazine. And you know what's cool about those trucks? You don't have to have your Class A license to drive it. You don't have to have a CDL. That's not considered a truck. It's an RV. So if you decide you don't want to keep that CDL, then you don't have to do it. Prevost, Robbie, yeah, and those are sweet rides, buddy. I follow those guys on social media, and they are incredible. Amazing coaches. So anyway, getting around whatever style you decide you like and whatever, works for you. It's everybody's got, first of all, you got to figure out your budget. What can you spend to get one? And right now, for my looking to make some deals. So the industry's taken a turn. My toy hauler is no longer in production, far as I know. Heartland, the manufacturer of the Cyclone toy hauler, was bought by Jayco, and don't know if they're going to keep any of the Heartland style bodies in production or not. But it looks like Cyclone's done, man. And one of the most popular toy haulers out there. And I'm sitting in, a lot of folks don't realize it. I'm sitting in the garage of my Cyclone right now. This is my studio. And it's a 13 and a half, I can't remember, 13-foot garage. And I converted it into an office and studio, and it works fantastic for me for what I do. Can everybody do that? Does it work for everyone? Probably not, but that's okay. It works for me. Could I do what I do in a coach? Sure, if it was set up right. I mean, but holy crap. I think coaches, man, I think coaches are out of my budget. But they are freaking nice, man. Are they nice? And so's this. I love my Cyclone. It's a great setup, great floor plan. Love the fact that I can travel around and go and do what I do. You guys, some of you got to see it down there in Bakersfield for the 10-4 Trucker Rodeo. That was a good time. What a great parking spot I had too. Just looking over all you guys out there parked in your trucks, man. It was fun. Momentum's good, Jamie. Yeah, you know what? There's a lot of good ones out there. It all comes down to what do you want for a floor plan? What's more important to you when you look at these things and you get in them and you walk around in them and go, okay, this works, that doesn't, this does, this don't. You start figuring all that stuff out. When I saw this floor plan, I fell in love with it. And the reason I fell in love with it is because of the side patio. This toy hauler has that big side patio and the big patio in the back, which is the ramp, to drive up into if you're going to use the garage to haul your toys around in. I don't. So it's just I have two patios. And then the thing for me I want to get is that patio X that they call it, which is a fold out inflatable yeah. Nice, Jamie. You sold it. Okay. There must be some tongue in cheek going on there. This Patio X, it folds out. You just fold it out on the ramp on the patio and then inflate it. And it's a fully inflatable room that fills that entire back patio, and it's all weather. It can handle rain, wind, whatever. It's completely sealed. It has the windows that you can open up with screens on them, or you can close them up and enclose thing, put heater in it, TV in it, whatever. You give yourself a whole nother room back there, uh, and another, space that you didn't have. So 45 feet just became almost 55 feet because you got 8 feet of patio back there. Anyway, a lot of fun, a lot of different ways to spend your off time. Me, again, like I said, I'm still in California. I'll be winding up on the coast in Bodega Bay at the end of the year to celebrate New Year's with some friends that are going to be coming there to join as well. Miss Julia and myself, and we'll be there taking in the new year on the bay, on the coast in Bodega Bay, and it'll be a lot of fun. I think we're gonna have a good time. I can't believe it. I blew through almost an hour here, and not without its challenges. But thanks everybody that tuned in. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. Look forward to the next few weeks. We're going to be having our cover story, and again, cover feature this month. I mean, you can't go wrong. I'm going to bring it back up here for you guys to look at. But this truck and these pictures, unbelievable. And this one right here just says it all. That is one beautiful truck, right? I know Jamie's got to like it. It's a Kenworth, and it's red, and it is gorgeous, man. That is one beautiful rig right there. Hell of a combo. We need to see that truck out on the West Coast again, which is where it came from originally, I guess. So a lot of things happened to that before it made it on the cover. Jamie, have a great evening yourself, you and your family. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving, and looking forward to the holidays ahead with you, man. Everybody else out there, you guys take it easy. Look for us to be coming back again. Like I said last week, we're still working on putting this together. We're going to be doing a morning shows starting in the mornings on Wednesdays. We were going to do it this week, but again, I ran into technical difficulties today to try to get everything together. Luckily, I was able to do the afternoon, but not the morning. And that is going to be with my partner in crime, Mr. Brandon Carpenter. So we're going to be doing a little morning program, and it is going to be something to be heard and be a part of. We want everybody to tune in and check it out. Hopefully we'll get you a tease on this soon, and may not be the first show may not be next Wednesday. We might get something up before then, but for sure next Wednesday. All right. And again, every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Keep the shiny side up, everybody. Good to have you on the show today, everybody. Thanks for tuning in that came along for the ride. Appreciate you. We'll see you next week. Get your magazines, get your subscriptions, those stocking stuffers. Guys love them. Put that subscription in the stocking and let somebody you love know you care about them enough to give them a 1-year subscription to 10-4 magazine. All right, y'all. Take care, everybody.